Hello, everybody. There we are. Hello, everybody. We are going to get started here real soon.
Everybody.
There's Mike's face is coming in.
Yeah, We're watching the Copa America. Chat, let's go.
I gotta fix my camera.
In your country. I love Nikki tweeted, who is this messy guy? I'm ready. I was born ready, baby.
I'm just fucking around.
First of all, Canada is not going to win. And if it happens, which is not going to happen, I'll be fine. It doesn't matter. We always lose the first match. No, we had to win this one, or otherwise it will be all for nothing. It doesn't matter anymore. Don't you understand how this works? We are losers again. We had to win every single time.
I really wanted a beer. The only one I have in the house is this Power Up Porter. Doesn't really seem like porter weather. It's still a cold alcoholic drink though, so it's fine.
Is it powering you up though?
No, I think they brewed this on Mario Day over at Birdfish. So they had a whole Mario themed thing.
Look at that. Do you think Mario drinks beer?
Way too good a boy for that. No, he's
Mario?
a big shoo. Mario would never.
Well, Luigi gets... No, well, Luigi gets shit-faced with on 40s and like...
Alright.
I don't know, something else.
You're good, you're good, you're good.
Luigi looks like a craft beer guy.
Luigi?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think... Look, I'm sorry, I don't think that the Mario Brothers smoke, I don't think they drink, and I don't think they fuck. I'm sorry, I just don't think they do any of that.
Oh, that's just a shame.
Oh, Mario hasn't. Luigi
I don't
fucks
think
every day.
Luigi has either.
Luigi fucks a lot.
Luigi gets all kinds of strange, dude.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that. What do you think those Koopas go from?
So I know movie Mario's from Brooklyn, obviously. All the movie Marios have been. When you think of video game Mario, do you still think that guy's from the real world?
No, that's
to me, that's still like a Mushroom Kingdom dude. I still go by the Yoshi's Island canon.
Yeah.
Jeff, apparently you're muted.
Hello!
Let's go!
Hello! How did that happen? I must have hit the space bar after clicking the button.
Let's fucking go!
Okay, we are going to get started here real soon, everybody. I think that I'm good there. Whatever. We'll just meander through the news. That's where I'm at this week.
You have all the limited run stuff, right?
I mean, I was going to let you go ham on that because I wasn't really watching.
Well, then, let me get that up.
Rushmore of, what was it?
Crossovers. Gaming crossovers.
Do people hate... What's going on? Why are they doing this?
Okay.
I'll listen to this.
Let's turn that off. Let's test this. You guys hear that?
Perfect. Yum, yum.
Okay. I think we are good to start the video game podcast. I guess I can tweet.
That'd be nice.
Nobody needs that. Oh, well, we do need that. Yeah, tweet. All right, 2 minutes for the match to restart, so we better get fucking cooking here.
Okay. All right. Mike, you ready?
Ready, sir.
Let's go.
All right. Then in that case, we will start the podcast in 5, 4, 3. Hang on, sorry. The music's doubling up on my side. Let me start over here.
Okay.
Boo.
There we go. Sorry, buddy. All right.
All right.
Stop sending it through there. Okay, one more time. In 5, 4, 3. The internet, you're busy, let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of video games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is
Mike Minotti.
In today's episode, at least Bubsy can't hurt me anymore. Wait a second, what's that? And the Mount Rushmore of crossovers. But first, Mike, how are you doing?
Well, gaming crossovers. If it's all crossovers, Flintstones Meet the Jetsons would be like
Probably
number
still
one.
In rank, actually.
No, that's
honestly,
just some childhood bias because that is just the first time.
Look at the list of gaming ones; it probably still would not even rank.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the truth. We've come a long way since the Flintstones met the Jetsons. Mike,
I think you have no love in your heart. That's what I think.
I'm hungry. Yeah. Listen. I'm doing pretty well. I hope you're doing well, ask. Mike. Yeah, I noticed, actually. I did notice.
How hot is it down there, Jeff? You tell me.
I'm comfy. I'm good, doing good. I wish I had a thermometer here so I could prove it to you, but I'll do that later. Yeah, I am ready for the heat to stop. I went outside to do some stuff today. It sucked. It's bad.
Yeah, I mostly got to stay in. I went on a run yesterday and had a very good run, probably because of the steroids, but then I could not stop sweating afterwards because of the heat, and probably because I pushed my body beyond a limit it really was comfortable with because the steroids are tricking it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just more sweating than I've done in a while, an uncomfortable amount of sweating. The point of this, I don't think I should be losing this much fluid.
Well, and I think it is with the humidity and the dew point. You're at a temperature where the sweat is not evaporating. It just continues to build up, and so it gets really gnarly.
Yeah, it got weird. It got weird up in here for a little bit.
Yeah, weird heat is the worst kind. People say it's the humidity. Yeah. No, it's the weird heat that is the worst.
There really is a 30-minute window if I can go out and do that and not die, and it's basically at 8:30. It's the only chance I can make it. Even then, still a smidge smoky. I mean, it hasn't absolutely destroyed me. I've been able to stay in here, although my air system usually pretty good, but even mine, I have it at 68. It's at 74 actually. It's struggling, but we'll be okay. We'll make it through it.
Yep. Yeah, I guess. You know what? Let's just get into it. We got to record a Columbros tonight. Let's do this podcast. You can get more from me and Mike by joining the Patreon at patreon.com/GameMess. We'll give more details on that in a second. Give us a good rating wherever you are listening and hit the like button on YouTube. It helps people find the show. If you want to ask a question, you can drop a super chat during the show on YouTube. We'll get to all of those before the end of the program. Thank you to Carlos Zain, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. Thanks to 1UP vs. CPU for our artwork. You could find more at 1UpVersusCPU.com. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods, and thank you to Christian for producing. Support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our Discord server, the monthly Q&A, participation in our monthly Game Club discussions, 1 month early access to new episodes of Game Mess Jeopardy and Columbros, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. All right, Mike. Some stuff happened this week. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I would like to do that, actually.
Shadow of the Erdtree is the highest rated DLC of all time. Big surprise, huh?
Yeah, I hate being like that. I hope it does sound a little shitty, but I'm yeah, of course.
Of course it is. Yeah.
And Elden Ring was my favorite game of that year. I absolutely love it. And there's a part of me it's yeah, I know. Yeah. I know everybody loves Elden Ring.
And it's I think the one thing that is maybe a little bit surprising, although it seemed like it was leading to this the entire time, is that no, this basically feels in a lot of ways already like Elden Ring 2. And if that is the feeling people have coming out of it, of course it's the highest rated DLC of all time. And at a certain point, it's I was already so excited to play it. How can I get more excited to play it? But
Right.
here it is, and I still haven't started it. I think I'm going to start it tomorrow on UPF on Giant Bomb. That seems to be the plan right now. So I'll hop in there kind of fresh. I haven't played a ton. We did those multiplayer streams, but I've not messed around with my main character in quite some time. I suppose I should double check to make sure I could do it, but I do remember beating Moog, so I should be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure I beat Moog. It's just I need to just start the thing up to see it's all there. Yeah, and it is a little weird just because part of me feels like if I play this now, I'm kind of almost rushing to get it done before the Final Fantasy 14 expansion comes out, which is really going to take up my time. So, I mean, I probably shouldn't just think about that. I should just, play this, be into it, enjoy it. And I know that I am going to enjoy it. I'm glad it's here. Glad it's getting reviewed very well. Although, like, at this point, I am at a point where it's like, the people who like From Software really like From Software, of course. At this point, if a From Software game ever gets like below a 90 again, that's almost like, whoa, what's going on?
Oh my God, it's what's his name missing the bowling shot in The Big Lebowski? And it's like, oh my God, is he gonna have a heart attack? Expectations are always going to be high for this company going forward. But I don't know, something about a 95 for a piece of DLC. At least that's where it was earlier today. Who knows?
Does it weird you out a little bit? You think it's too much for any DLC? Is that what you're getting at? You can tell me the truth.
I think it puts a lot.
We haven't played it.
I haven't played it. I think it puts a lot on a DLC to be like, okay, this is up there with some of the best games ever. That's what that VGC story has mentioned. It's like, this is the 35th or something highest rated game ever released that's been rated on Metacritic. So it's like, okay, yeah, that does seem like a lot. And yet, if it's Elden Ring, of course that makes sense. I mean, where else would it be?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. And I think I mentioned this to Sean this morning on GMM. It's like, maybe this was an expand alone. It's like that would make it even, these expectations or something would be reset a little bit for me. I don't know. That's very much a me thing. But I don't know. Whatever. I am ready to go play this, check it out myself. And I'm sort of ready for everyone to be playing Elden Ring again, because I thought that was a really fun time. I think having that zeitgeist return will be very favorable.
And it'll be a little different because, I mean, you played almost all of it before last time in that review period. I played a good amount of it in that review period. This time, both of us have kind of waited for the game to just actually be out, whether we intentionally or not.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't. So you think your plan is to actually hop in? I know you were kind of going back and forth there a second ago. What do you think the plan actually is now? Are you going to be playing this game this weekend?
At some point this weekend, I will probably spin this up. I don't know if I'm like going to stream it. I'm just going to kind of play it when I can. But yeah, I'm going to spin this up. I'm going to play. I'll have fun.
Cool. Yep, I'll start it tomorrow, and I think it'll be the game I'm playing going forward, kind of as I'm finishing up Thousand Year Door, and then that'll be the game I focus on. And honestly, July, not a lot coming out, not a ton. So, like, I know you have your Dawn Trail imminent. When does that actually come out?
Couple weeks. I mean, it was supposed to come out, I think, this like around now, and then when they announced the release date, he's like, "Let's push that back a couple weeks." he admitted as much. It was incredible. That was at PAX.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah, that was the PAX. I was there. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's smart. So that'll keep me busy for a while. And then I think August is the War Within, the World of Warcraft expansion. So I actually have a good amount of MMOing to do for a while.
Yeah, August kind of things do pick up a little bit more, but then by September it's full sprinting once again for at least one big game a month for me, and if not more than that. And actually, I think most of those months do have more than that, and a lot of those are like Nintendo games. So, and I suppose
Luigi's Mansion 2 very soon, man.
Of course, yeah. Honestly, what if that game comes out and it's like, no, they made a lot of improvements. That game's way better. I don't need that.
Yeah, sure.
I did write down here that I'm still thinking about that direct. Just a couple of things.
Yeah.
I have gone back and looked at all those trailers again, for the big ones at least, and I'm just like so happy with everything we saw. Mario and Luigi is the first thing they showed, and I was like, I think when I was first seeing, I'm like, I'm so glad they're going for that art style. Now I was looking at it again, I'm like, are they nailing it? And then I watched it a couple more times, and I'm like, actually, no, I am fully on board with the way that game looks. I think that the sort of bold black outline that they did, I was listening to DF Direct today, and they mentioned the thing that it did remind me of, which is Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS, Where
Yeah, sure.
that
Yes,
black
yes,
outline.
yes.
And it's actually like, I don't know, something about that feels like a stylistic choice, but also a readability choice. And I think it really helps them with to show off all the animations that are happening in Mario and Luigi. But then it just looks so much fun. So very happy with that. I did show the kids the Zelda trailer, and they caught on pretty quickly. It's like, wait, is she going to be saving Link this time? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, they both jumped up and were very excited about it. So yeah, just very happy with all that stuff, and very happy that many of those games are coming out in a matter of months. So still very happy with that Direct. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. That art style, I'm always going to be a little bit of a pixel freak. So, comparing it to the originals is maybe a toss up for me. But compared to those 3DS remakes we got, this looks a lot better. Just every time I think about Metroid, I'm so happy. I've been playing through Zero Mission. I'll talk about that a bit later. But just in such a Metroid mood, which I usually am in anyways. But just seeing Prime 4, knowing it looks great, being so excited for that. And thinking about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 still. Constantly. I guess that's the one thing I want to talk to you, because there's more noise about that game not coming to Xbox than I maybe would have even expected. Do you think anybody in Team Xbox or Team Capcom is feeling heat from that?
Yes, I think definitely a Team Xbox. They're feeling heat about that. This is having a game skip your system with no obvious reason.
Except unless the reason is like, well, we don't think it'll sell well enough, which is kind of
but I mean, right.
It's a reason, but it's an embarrassing reason.
Right, exactly. That's the same thing where it's like you are taking a bad beat publicly, regardless of whether it's that or it's just random. Someone at Xbox, I'm sure, is feeling the heat about that. At the same time, again, for that DF Direct, and Sean, we talked about this a little bit this morning, where we weren't sure if it was the MT framework thing, where it's like they didn't maintain that on Xbox. They definitely don't have it for Xbox Series, and it sounds like what happened is and this is according to DF, they would know better than I do, but that it seems like on Xbox One even that they stopped maintaining however they were porting games with MT Framework to Xbox, and so there's just no easy way for them to do that without spinning up something completely new that would be more expensive than any of these other ones, and at a certain point that doesn't make sense. Now that's still not great for Xbox, but it feels like they're not doing this because they hate Xbox. It's just it would cost them too much money for it to make sense. And they did maintain that MT Framework stuff because they were doing like the Ace Attorney Chronicles games for Switch and stuff like that. So that's why that was working on there. It's weird. I think Capcom might be like, man, maybe we can make this happen if we get some help from Microsoft. And I think Microsoft should do that. If they have enough money, they should just do that in every one of these cases until they can pave this stuff over and get on the other side of whatever the future looks like for them.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Microsoft kind of like devote resources before when there is a loud enough outcry. We kind of saw that with Baldur's Gate, right? So yeah, I do wonder if any phone calls have been made or anything like that.
Yep. And another thing, I watched that Super Mario Party Jamboree one. That game, why does that game look so good? Have you looked at this trailer again? There's like some really incredible, like, I don't know, like backgrounds. You know what it reminds me of is that the one game I can never remember the name of that I love, the one with the chests and the Yahtzee.
Spoon Heaven.
Yes, Spoon Heaven. No, the tabletop games for the
Clubhouse
Switch.
games.
Clubhouse games. Thank you. They had like a lot of great materials and reflections, and like it looked really premium. There's a lot of that going on in the background of this Super Mario Party game. It's weird.
I remember saying I thought Mario Party Superstars was actually one of like graphically the best looking Switch games. I think maybe there's not a whole lot of intense other things going on in Mario Party games, so you can just kind of have some really nice details and character models and stuff. But those Mario Party games Switch actually graphically look very nice.
Yeah, it just looks really pleasant to look at. So
apparently it's the same developers as Clubhouse games. That's interesting.
Is it?
According to two people in chat, how could two people be wrong?
No, they can't be. That's okay. I'm honestly not surprised to hear that. Once like looking at the game, I got those vibes. So happy to hear that there's something there. Just kind of still buzzing from it, really, Mike. That's where I'm at. That's why I wanted to talk about it more, just because it's like, God, that was a good Direct.
It was a lot of fun.
Limited Run Games had their layest reveal thing where they announced a bunch of new projects today. I saw some stuff while I was doing other things, but I don't know. You were watching. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff here. The one last thing, believe it or not, is Bubsy.
Is this going to have Bubsy 3D in it?
I think it's gonna have Bubsy 3D. At least I saw.
According to the Steam page, it does.
Oh my!
It's gonna have
God.
Bubsy 3D. Bubsy 3D is getting imported into MVG's Carbon engine.
Piece of shit.
Because it's all Carbon
MGV.
engine stuff
yeah,
here.
I did see that. Yes.
And it even said like there will be like some improvements. I'm like, man, what can you possibly do?
I mean, it's already so perfect, right? I mean,
well, it's called the Perfect Collection. I'm like, man, what is? Like, remember that thing you had to do in the end of the game with the colors? Are we gonna find out what that finally means now that people are gonna play this game again?
I hope so. I hope they like are able to unravel what was going on there. That would be awesome.
But I think like even Game Boy games are gonna be in this thing. So that's what there's like a lot of stuff that they showed here where it is almost like collections of stuff of like not the greatest games in the world. Like we know about Gex, and I defend Gex a bit. Gex games are fine. But like Fighting Force is fine. We're getting that, and I'm like, man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad Limited Run is like we're gonna preserve Fighting Force because somebody has to. Hell yeah! They're even they're going to re-release Fear Effect, which is me and you in the magazine circuit back in the day probably knew it as the lesbian game.
Of course, that's what it was.
Magazines talked about. But like it graphically, it's one of the best looking PS1 games. It's it kind of does the Mega Man Legends thing with face textures, so it actually animates really well. So getting that then there's like other things like they did the physical release of Gimmick, that kind of hidden gem NES game, and now Gimmick is just getting a sequel. So that's neat. There's some kind of clock tower, just a bunch of stuff like that. I like Limited Run a lot. I'm a big fan of what they are doing. Seeing them do the showcase like this is pretty neat. Yeah, you're looking at that Steam page for Bubsy. Can you believe? Yeah, because they have screenshots there. There's like the Game Boy games, and then Bubsy 3D is getting a modern release. Can you believe it?
I can't actually. That is bananas. That this
what could possibly go wrong?
I can tell you a lot of things that can go wrong. Actually,
2025. I mean, God, they imported Bubsy into a new engine, Bubsy 3D. That is so wild.
Yep.
Have you ever played much of the 2D Bubsy games? Because I did rent. Like
I rented them.
There was a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I think everybody rented them, and they were always fine. You rented them, and then never really wanted to play them again. Again, like I don't think they were ever terrible games. Like 3D is terrible, but the other Bubsy games are just kind of weird mascot platformers, of which there were a dime a dozen of those.
Yes. What you said though about Limited Run games going out there and doing this work, it seems like they have a very good plan of let's hire people that know what they're doing to preserve these games, and then let's bring in people who kind of know how to find these games and know their value and know how to like get them together. I mean, Audie Sorley, also from Digital Foundry, who has done some Digital Foundry work, is the producer on this Bubsy game. It's like, okay, yeah, that is awesome. It is very cool that they're able to do this. So impressive stuff. And I do find myself being like, maybe I should get a couple of these games physically, which is not an urge I typically have. So if they're even kind of getting me wrapped up in it.
And there are few cool ones getting ones. There's a really cool looking Dark Forces limited run premium edition that they announced during this that has some pretty neat stuff in it, including like a blueprint of the one shipped from it, and commemorative coin, special pin, stuff like that. I think they're also doing a physical version of Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus on Switch. So that's
exactly,
that's interesting.
Yeah. That's just kind of neat stuff. And I think for people who are worried about like the future of physical games, I think this is proving that there is going to be that boutique market. Like I think the ship has sailed on. You're 100% going to get a day one physical version for every game going forward. That seems to be kind of over. You're going to get it for most games still, but a lot of games are going to make the decision to be like, no, we're going to be digital only. It's just cheaper and easier. But stick around, and if you want that physical version, we will probably make something happen for you in the long run. And big events like this, where there's a million of these projects, and they're all different kinds of games. It is older games, collections, and then Wolfenstein 2 for the Switch. Like it's such a breadth of different kinds of content that I think it really speaks to the fact that collectors will just show up for all of these, and I think that's a good sign.
Yep, exactly right.
All right, Mike. I not too much else to talk about. Things did kind of slow down a little bit after SGF. So
Figured. I mean, yeah, I don't know. People are trying to make a big deal about who or who isn't going to be at Gamescom, and it's like,
Right.
yeah, does much really ever happen at Gamescom? I know some things do, and sometimes it's a little bit more busy than others, but
it feels like that
whatever.
opening night live hasn't been a huge thing for the last couple of years, and
Yeah.
then for a couple of years before that, there were a few things. PlayStation's not going to be at Gamescom. Nintendo says they're not going to be at Gamescom. And then Xbox says they're going to have quite a bit at Gamescom. Their biggest booth ever. And then they made some promises about how there was some stuff they could have showed off here that they're saving for Gamescom. So yeah, they'll have some stuff. But you're right, making a big deal out of it. We'll just see what happens when it happens with that sort of thing. So
yeah, I mean, I'm glad. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad Xbox is going to be there. I'm excited
sure,
to see.
I think it's better
some
that
things
people
there.
are there than not, of course.
Yeah, I think people, it is weird because when I was talking about this is actually the biggest game conference. I'm like, seems like people don't act like it is.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest in terms of just like raw
Right.
feet on the ground.
But I guess it's weird it doesn't translate into more value in some way. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess the other thing from, circling back to the Direct, people were like, hey, is that Metroid running on Switch 2? A lot of people looked at it, being like, definitely not. And I think we kind of guessed that looking at it
Yeah,
ourselves.
I know during the thing at one point I said, do you think it's running Switch 2? When, I was watching it on your Discord
Right,
windows.
yeah, right, yes, in
It
a
was
moment.
literally just me taking a shot at the dark. But yeah, like other people said, yeah, it looks like about as good as Metroid Prime 1 Remastered does. So, which looked fantastic, right? It looks good enough. It is now just a matter of still, well, is it also going to come to Switch 2? And what will it look like on there? Would there be improvements? What is that going to be like? Those are kind of the questions now that we're not going to get answers for in a while.
Yes, exactly. All right. I think that'll do it for the news. Why don't we just take a quick break? We'll come back. We'll start getting into all those super chats. And we'll talk about what they want to talk about. Does that sound good, Mike?
So they want to talk about cool dude things.
Okay, I bet that's right. Right after this, everybody.
Break.
All right. Get set up for that. All right. I can see them. I am good to come back whenever you guys are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. All right, we are back. We got some super chats, and we have a Mike Minotti who knows how to read. Let's put those two things together. Go ahead, Mike.
T-Bucket23 says, think you all will do a Giant Bomb Fantasy Critic midseason check-in. Dan got Astrobot. What is Turboshan doing sleeping on his team? I pulled it up. Yeah, right now, Dan did get Astrobot. It's a big get. Oh, you know what? Dan had Metroid Prime 4 as a counter pick, though, so that's actually pretty good for him because that is not coming out this year.
Yes,
so
that
Dan,
sucks.
yeah, things looking not too bad for Dan. Oh, Dan had Thousand Year Door remake. That got him 19 points, and he had 7 Rebirth. That was 25 points. But, still projected in first place.
I think it's probably Mike Minotti because that's the only reason you would care about projected.
It is Mike Minotti who did very well with both
You're the
Persona
only
3
person
Reload.
with a full roster, Mike.
Yeah, but only 3 of my games have been ranked. I mean, I did good Persona 3 Reload.
Right. Well, why are you talking about projected then?
Well, because I'm projected to win. So I had that Skull and Bones counter pick. I had the unannounced 3D Mario counter pick. Look, I'm still looking pretty good, although we'll see. But yeah, there's some people we gotta maybe remind Tam and Bacalar and Lucy.
Do we need
Sean
to, though?
Should we wait till after this week?
Yeah, maybe we wait
games.
until after this week for no
fuck.
reason in particular.
Oh, motherfucker.
Jeff's projected for second right now. You did very good with Dragon's Dogma 2. Balatro is a huge get for you. That some game called Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, whatever that has got you 10 points. So, although you did pick Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yeah,
so
but I do have
that.
that's I have a drop, so
You could drop it, okay.
and everything else is scheduled to come out. Although I'm skeptical about Skate's story, but we'll see.
But you picked up Dragon Age back then because you were very confident for no particular reason that it was going to come out this year.
That's right.
So there you go.
I'm really mad that Dan got Astro though, because I'm like, I put a ton of money on there and he spent $75.
He spent
or
a lot,
whatever.
and I mean I know it's a lot, but that's that's going to be a pretty high game. That game's
I
gonna
think
rate
there's a
pretty
strong chance that game is high 80s, maybe even low 90s.
high. I bet it'll be low 90s. I bet it'll be fine.
I think it's a strong chance. Yeah.
I want to talk to you because I know you're like, oh man, I think Astrobot can maybe break through and sell 5 million copies. and like I want to believe you, but like all the reasons you list were the same reasons why I thought Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart would sell 5 million copies.
I think things have changed since Ratchet and Clank.
It's a big showcase, and it's got reviewed so well, and everyone seems so excited, and then it was still like 3 million.
Yeah, I think that it's I think things have changed a little bit where like people are really starving for stuff on the PlayStation. They are getting a little bit tired of, hey, Naughty Dog's got another remaster of a game they released a bunch of times. I think Astro looks even more exciting, looks even better than Ratchet. And I think that, well, I mean, also there's a lot more PlayStations, and
yeah,
I don't know. I think things are lining up for it to do better than Ratchet in a lot of ways, but there's nothing guaranteed. And for me, like 5 million is breakout big number. Like that would be huge for that kind of game. Yes. Exactly. So and like 7 million is like dream scenario. I said, but I that is a dream, as in it's not going to happen.
That is a dream.
Yes. But yeah, we'll see.
Burrito says, thank you, Burrito. I'll have to listen to the pod tonight as I'm on the road. But Mike, this is for you getting Dan real good with the Extinct Dragons bit. Never seen him get shoot hot like that. Very nice work. Well, he was so ready for that. Do you think that when he went to the bathroom or whatever, you think he had the show on and was listening? Because he seemed prepared.
There's a chance, but I don't think it's usually Dan's move. But maybe for that show, he might have done that.
Maybe. It was very... I was dying, and then shortly after that, you knocked out your audio again. It was a good, 3 minutes there of Blight clubbing. Fun stuff. I hope...
Halfway done.
Yeah, you're. Can you believe that, man? Look, Jeff. I'm not groveling because I'm going next, and I'm worried about what you're going to pick for me. I swear to God, I thought it was going to be a 10 to 12 hour game. I swear to God.
I'm not mad, but I do have a strong sense of fairness. Is what I'll say.
Look, if it wasn't going to be you, it's going to be me. You wanted me to play this game. I had to ask.
You can yell and you can grovel. You can do what you need to do. But I just think that there is a penance. Is that the penance needs to be paid? I think there is a price that has to be paid. So we'll see what that means.
Do you have something in mind yet?
I had something in mind, but I need to go see if it is going to be painful enough, and I'm not sure. So we'll see.
Okay.
I want that to be really would be fun for me to watch you play. And I think in the end, you would probably like in the way that you liked Mythology Sub-Zero, where it's like, this is something that's so weird. But I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting. We'll see. Ali Miracle says, how'd the gamer inhaler go? Detroit made. Yeah, how did you feel? Oh, not again. Okay, for people who don't know, Jeff bought some gamer inhaler thing called Get Good that he's supposed to shove up his nose and then smell like smelling salt. It's supposed to give him energy or power.
Amplify energy and focus.
Focus
from Detroit.
How focus? No, they don't know anything about Focus in Detroit.
That's where they make the Focus. Ford.
The Ford Focus. Cool.
So I feel pretty good, actually. I feel sharp. I'll say that.
That's just the body giving you the endorphins that it does before you die.
It could be parts of my brain shutting down. Yeah. It's like flooding all that good stuff in there, because I'm dying.
It's actually 90 degrees in your basement right now. You don't even know.
My senses are all dumbed down.
Sriracha says, you guys rule, and I only feel alive when I hear you all read my chats. Will you tell my wife Magic that she's the coolest? Thank you. Stay amazing. Magic, look at me. Magic. You're the coolest, Magic.
Magic is real and cool.
Yeah, Magic's pretty real. Is that the no, friendship is real is what the bronies say. But yes. I bet they think magic is real too.
Wait, friendship is magic?
Friendship is magic.
That's what they say. I think that's the subtitle of the show, I think.
Oh.
Sean?
Why do you assume? I mean, yes.
Thank you, Sean.
Them's Fighting Her is a fantastic fighting game. Go check it out.
Yeah. Simon McKinley SD says, Mike, how can you say Mario doesn't get any? In the 1,000-Year Door, every female you meet wants to sit on his mustache as soon as they meet him. Also, Final Fantasy 16 check. Oh, I know people want to have sex with Mario.
He just doesn't know what it is.
He doesn't know what it is, and it doesn't happen. So, I still haven't played a whole lot of Final Fantasy 16 in a while, which
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to imagine. Honestly, I could probably get him to call you. I feel like if I tried right now, I could get Ben Starr to call you.
No, please. I'd be so embarrassed. No, please. I would die.
All right, we're not going to do that. But imagine that he's there.
Okay.
And calling
I'll get
you.
on it.
What would you say? Or would you just be like, you know what? I'm going to go play it right now. Is that what you?
I think I might start crying.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I don't want to put you in that situation ever. I would be the same way.
Edgar Marino says, "Are you guys making it to Evo?" Probably not. Sadly, I have I've already done more travel this summer than I would like to, and I might have more other stuff. So the idea of making it to Evo probably just not happening. I'll be watching it a lot this year, though. I'm very excited for the Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8, but also for the Third Strike retro tournament that they're doing. As I'm kind of waiting for Marvel's Capcom 2, I kind of want to pick up some Third Strike again and maybe play some more of that for funsies. But no, I'm looking forward to Evo.
On my SP, and God, that fucking game just is the best thing in the world to look at.
It is so good looking. I do think that kind of 2D pixel art, pure fighting game, really did peak with that.
I think it's the best looking game ever made. I think Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is legitimately the best looking game ever made.
It is gorgeous. So yeah.
I will say before we move on, there's maybe a 5% chance I go Evo this year.
Okay,
because I found out that there's a way to get cheap flights near me. And if I could get a press pass for it and everything, because I won't be competing because it got my ass handed to me. So there's a 5% chance I might be there.
Cool. Yeah. Same with me, where it's I would love to go. We definitely talked about it, but I'm with Mike, where too much travel already. And there was other cool things I would have loved to have done that I didn't even entertain. So I'm at that point with travel already.
Maybe next year. Bailey Moon says, thoughts on Yooka-Laylee, the Yooka-Laylee remake. I never gave Yooka-Laylee much mind. One, because when that came out, I didn't even really have much of a soft spot for Banjo-Kazooie. I only played through it a bit after that and finally got it. Back when the day, I was just kind of this isn't Mario 64, and was kind of shitty about it, which I was wrong. But still, when Yooka-Laylee came out, everyone's yes. So then
that's right. It's just not as good as it could be.
And the one everyone likes is the 2D one, Impossible Lair. And if anything, I'll go play that before I play Replay. But I don't know. Maybe they're maybe they're really fixing it up. Replay. When did the 2D one come out? A few years ago now. It's been a little bit. Probably 2018, 2019.
Right. 2017. So 7 years.
Wow. And
so this will be not even their first new game. This is just a remake or a remaster of a game. So they haven't done a new game in 7 years. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. But I hope it does well. Again, if it comes out, and if I hear amazing things, and it's I can't miss it, then absolutely. I always say I keep waiting for and we've had some good indie 3D platforms, but I keep waiting for the big one of those, the Celeste of those, or the Shovel Knight of those, which hope maybe might be Shovel Knight 64, right?
I would fucking own. Yes, God, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I hope that we get to Yooka-Laylee and they've made the edits to it that make it great. That's what I always hope for these. This seems like this is a chance for them to do exactly that.
New Medic says, Dead by Daylight is my favorite crossover game. I love it and I hate it too much. Yeah, we should definitely remember Dead by Daylight. That might be a good contender then. We're talking about our Mount Rushmore crossovers later.
Yep, keep it in mind.
Power Glover says, been a while. Just wanted to thank you guys for all you do. Here's some Margaritaville money for the Metroid bet. When will you rank Samus's suits in a top 5? Love from the Power Glover. Thank you so much, Power Glover. That is a fantastic lesson in Nintendogs idea, ranking Samus's suits. There are a lot of them. There are ones I have some strong opinions about. Big fan of the Dread suit. I'm not so much a fan of any of the Gravity suits. I do not like that purple color almost ever.
Yeah, I think I like when I get it because I just like getting new stuff. But I think at the end of the game, I'm always I'm glad I got away from that. So
yeah, and there's some weird funky ones. In Dread, you get the Metroid suit at the end, and that looks amazing, right? So and weird things like that. The Uncharted Wolf says, do y'all expect people to fight for Elden Ring DLC for Game of the Year?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do expect that.
I do expect it, and I expect to not be on board. Even I don't know.
Still, it's 2024, man. We have game marriage now. Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Like anything's
not
possible.
I don't. No, I mean, look. Hey, look. To be clear, my game of the year a couple years ago, I believe, was Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. So I am a piece of shit. I get it. I'm not saying it's not eligible. I'm just gonna kind of. I haven't played it yet. I don't know why. I'm not like being down on it, but I probably like, when I played the preview, I did really like it. But it definitely was just, it's more Elden Ring. That's great. So I guess I'm kind of curious to see, if it is ever more than that. But just getting more Elden Ring is fantastic, and I'm glad they did it. I don't know if I give you a medal for that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. My guess here, my hunch would be that it gets in the conversation, and we get to the point where it's like, you know what, though? We gave Elden Ring Game of the Year. Let's reward something else. I bet something like that happens.
To me, it's a little bit like why I didn't put Metroid Prime Remastered in my top 10 last year. It's like, I know. You all know. Metroid Prime. You kind of get it.
Metroid Prime probably was the best game last year.
Metroid Prime Remastered did freaking rule, didn't it? It was good stuff. Okay, next one is Teriyaki Blues, who said, got built for Patreon, and I've been a member now for 1 year. Found you guys looking for something to listen to while mowing the lawn. Thank you for the year of content and making yard work go by quicker. This is their first super chat. Thank you so much, Teriyaki Blues. Really appreciate the support.
That's nice.
Oh, Grug says Bubsy 3D for the Game Mess Hall of Fame. Ooh, we should do another Hall of Fame here soon.
I'm like a little offended that, because like these guys that work on this, we're like acquaintances at least. And some of them I consider to be like friends. They didn't like even like run this by me. They like didn't like consult me on Like I am an authority on Bubsy 3D.
You should reach out to MVG right now. You should say what's up.
I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. Yeah.
Don't stop them, but say I should be involved.
I might have to make some calls here.
Make some calls. Like, look, if they for some reason remastered Mortal Kombat Mythologies, I would feel the same way. Yeah. I should feel like I should be involved in this.
I'm probably still the last person on Earth that beat that game. I guess other than maybe someone who's testing this bullshit. But come on, it doesn't count if you're.
They didn't beat it either.
Getting
They're using
paid.
cheats.
Or I was getting paid too. Whatever.
It is wild. Like, this has to be the first Blight Club game to get like worked on in some way. Like,
God,
it's getting
that's
put
right.
on a new.
Yeah.
Right.
So it wouldn't
like
be that fucking Batman game and
even Sega, who has no shame, is like, we're not talking about Sonic 06.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, that was on the Genesis. There was no other game called that. No.
So that's incredible. I wonder why like it. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Jeff, I was thinking of getting something going at Giant Bomb with Audi and MVG, since they're also working on Tomba, and we know a guy who's really into Tomba.
We have a Tomba guy.
Should I just like get the three of you in a room together and just like fist fight it out for a little while?
I think so. That's probably what needs to happen. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh yeah, Sumi Mech says Peach and Zelda getting spotlight games this year. Feels like Nintendo giving its heroines some needed attention. Is now the time for Crystal's own game. Sean, while you're here, is now the time for Crystal's own game?
Oh God, I wish.
What would that game look like to you?
I
would say dating sim.
Honey.
Fuck. I mean, honestly, Star Fox Adventures, now that I've actually like played the whole thing, it's not bad. Like,
there's something there.
Yeah, there's something
there. It could be a lot better, but you're right.
Rough.
Yes.
It could be a lot better. It's just a mediocre Zelda game, but what if, like what if you just do that as a spin-off? Could work.
Okay. Do you think that was calculated that Zelda and Peach are both starting their own games this year? I think a little more coincidence.
I mean,
it's kind of weird that it took this long, to be honest.
Yeah, the way I view it is that like it was more likely to happen now because they're more mindful of it than they've ever been. So when the opportunity presents itself, they were more likely to say yes. So I guess in a way, it's not a coincidence. But clearly what happened with the Zelda thing is they're like, we have an idea, a gameplay mechanic, and we maybe don't want you to use the sword because it would take away from that mechanic. So wait, you know what's a good idea? Link always has a sword, so let's just not use Link. And people wanted to play as Zelda. Like, that's clearly what happened here. So
it makes sense.
And I get why some people are like, so it's like it's got to be the woman because you know it's a character without a sword. I get that, but honestly, I'm like fully on board with what's happening here, and I finally get to play as Zelda in a video game. So right. I'm again all on board.
Yep, I'm excited. Tyler James Bay says, "Do Sonic fans go to heaven?" No, but neither do Sonic. Sonic haters don't go to heaven either, though.
That's okay. That's true. Yeah, they're too fast for heaven. Sonic fans.
Nintendo Derek says, I have not stopped thinking about that Direct. If this is what Nintendo has for an end-of-life console, what could they possibly have for Switch 2? I mean, Mario. They have Mario.
Right, yeah. And really, one Mario.
That's all they need.
Yeah, it's kind of equivalent to everything else everyone announced this entire summer Game Fest. So, yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to be... I'm going to be so excited to see that Mario. But yeah, I mean, it's almost funny how good of a mood the Direct put me in because I did just.
Yep,
really
I've been
like
kind of walking on sunshine all week.
Yeah, just super excited for all of that. So yeah, it was a good week. Grubb says, "Who's more helpful in Bike Club, Dan or Superfly Johnson? And why don't more games have mission critical objectives hidden under wood horse carts?"
Yeah, why don't they? And yeah, Superfly Johnson, way more helpful than Dan, of course. Without a doubt. I mean, even though Superfly Johnson mostly just stands in doorways and closes doors on me, and then sometimes closes doors on himself and fucking gets killed. Man, what a game.
And that last level you did was rough. You think you have more like that, where you got to wander around one level for 3 hours looking for bullshit?
I bet there's at least one more like that, yeah.
Great. Chuck says, the thought hit me today that I wonder if a lot of studio acquisitions games fail to hit because the studio isn't making their honest, unique vision. I mean, there's always corporate meddling and whatnot. These things are always a series of compromises to one degree or another. It's a factor, but there are a million factors.
Yeah. And, a lot of these studios get to a point where it's like they are saying it's their vision, but it's pre-compromised because they know that to get the green light, they have to present a certain kind of game. So it's kind of baked into whatever they do. There's definitely a part of me that's like, there is a world in which all of that, Bethesda magic and BioWare magic and all the magic of these studios that have like put out games that have had issues after years of development where they're like, it could come together in the last minute like it always has. It's like, I think that still works at a certain scale. And I think that scale is what happened with Metroid Prime 4, where it's like, this is not some 4K expansive, the biggest game you've ever fucking seen. It is a sequel to a GameCube game. And they took a long time, and now that we're looking at it, it's like, yeah, that looks really solid. In fact, that looks way too good to even be running on the Switch. And I think if you're in that zone, you could pull it off and like have like kind of this game that feels like a little bit like a miracle at the end. If you are operating at a game that is $250, $300 million with like 1,400 people working on it or some shit like that, hoping that the magic that runs through the studio can apply that broadly is just... It's madness at this point, and that's what's gone wrong with so many of these games. Rocksteady being the most recent example. So yeah, it's rough.
Man, did you see that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy sold 20 million copies now? Granted, it's been a while. It's probably been on sale a bunch. It's on a lot of platforms, but I don't care like what the reason
insane. What? 20 million copies?
20 million they announced today. 20 million for Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Just for Insane Trilogy?
Just for Insane Trilogy. Now, Crash Bandicoot 4 sold 5 million copies.
Yeah,
which,
but that's also amazing.
That's also very good, and
it's incredible. Even if it's like $5 for like the last year, that's insane.
Do you think there's now we know that? So Vicarious Visions did Insane Trilogy. They're Blizzard now. They're not doing anything else but Blizzard. But we know that Toys for Bob is working with Activision. When I see these numbers, I'm like, they're probably just making another Crash for them. If not that, maybe Spyro. But I mean, I don't know why I don't know why Crash 5 just didn't happen sooner if it was doing this well. And you're building momentum. Why stop?
Right. I think they're probably doing Spyro. Apparently Spyro did 10 million.
I think Spyro makes sense.
Yes, but
Spyro also very good.
If you just go back and forth between those two, seems pretty solid to me.
Yeah, do that. Right? Let's just do that. And then Simon McKinley Etsy again with a Lincoln member for 1 month. Thank you so much. With the amount of women throwing themselves at Mario, at some point he would have stumbled into one by accident. Just probability.
Is that what bumping uglies means?
Yeah, I think so. God. Okay. I just don't think so. Because, like, then what is he going to do? Take him home to his, like, you see his house in Thousand Year Door? It's somehow, like, 1 or 2 rooms, and he lives there with Luigi.
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to do?
Yeah, right. He doesn't put a sock on the door. He doesn't know what that means.
No.
Why do you think she keeps getting kidnapped, guys? Come on, put 2 and 2 together.
That's it. That's it for the super chats. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Jeff, back to you.
All right. Yes.
Hi, Nick.
Howdy, Nick. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. You know what we should do now is Let's take another quick break. We'll get set up for our decision of the night, which, of course, is the best video game crossovers. We'll do that right after this.
Ooh, baby.
Break.
Break. All right. It'll just take me a second to get set
Yeah, I
up
got to cut
here.
you out anyways.
Cool. Perfect. Is
that Bubsy music?
Yeah, it's always Bubsy music.
Okay.
Let's see here. Sean, if I wanted, I'm having Tam and Lucy on BCR tomorrow. If I wanted to do like the Mount Rushmore of
British shit? What?
of British gaming computers, like the Commodore and the Tandy or whatever.
Jeff, I know the numbers. 95% of our audience would have no idea what you're talking about.
That's kind of what I figured. Yeah. All right. I don't know what I'm talking about there. So
Exactly.
yeah. There's that. There is that. Good. Yeah, we would need Gary Whitta. That's right. Yeah, the ZX Spectrum, Amiga in it. Sure.
Amiga in it.
Yeah, niche British game studios or magazines. Yeah, I mean, I might just ask them about that and be like, what was it like?
So what's it like to be British?
Yeah, exactly, right? That's what people want to
Just
hear.
quiz
That's what people
them,
want to be
bro.
asked about.
I mean, Tam can fill an hour of airtime with Elden Ring talk, so like we'll be good.
Oh yeah, we'll be good. I'm talking about that stuff. Yes. Apple II was global, but yeah, I would talk for hours about Gianna Sisters. That is one that I stumbled across as like maybe not a kid, but maybe after like a little bit after it was like a going concern. And Gianna Sisters is pretty good. Yeah, the FM Towns Marty. Yeah, what was the FM? Was that like a British computer as well? Totally. Yeah. And the BBC. What they had a computer of their own, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, that sounds right.
Oh man. The Mount Rushmore of British game franchises: Wipeout, Tomb Raider, Banjo-Kazooie, Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, the BBC Micro. That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Who was that? Dean Bowling asked if we've ever reached out to the Digital Foundry homies. Currently only on Patreon. We did do an episode of Jeopardy with John Lohman a couple of months back. That'll be up on the free feed. Oh. I think we're on schedule for like 2 weeks from now. I may or may not.
Is that the next one?
I may or may not get one out this weekend. I'm trying to do roughly every 2 or 3 weeks until we get caught up.
Okay.
Instead of every month.
Cool. I should
yeah. Those are cool guys over there.
Did we ever get Brad on there? I meant to invite Brad on there. Brad Shoemaker. That would have been fun.
No, not yet. We could do him on the next one.
Okay. Maybe we'll make that happen. Next couple of months, we'll see. Yeah, FM Town sounds really British, but apparently it's Japanese only. Yeah, like my assumption for a long time was like I think like a lot of those computers were in both territories, but no, they really did seem to have their own scenes. Now that I've looked a little bit closer.
Some of those scenes are wild too. You talk to people who were there back in the day, and they talk about like the piracy scene and everything, because it was all a lot of it was just floppies and everything.
Yep,
it's
recording it on tape.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It's the best thing in the world. Just the best thing in the world.
Copying cassette tapes.
Just once in my life, I want to load a video game from a cassette tape. I need to. I want to.
That's so cool.
It's messed up, and I love it.
Just all data, baby.
Just all data. All
That's
right. We are going to get back into it, I think. Let's do it. Okay.
All right.
Punch it. We're back. We're going to talk about the best video game crossovers. We're going to do a Mount Rushmore, in fact, which means picking the four most emblematic, most iconic representatives of what makes a video game crossover. Sorry, man. I think the Get Good is wearing off over here.
I think it's destroying your brain.
All right, Mike. Where do you want to start with this?
I mean, let's start for the reason why I thought about this. Marvel versus Capcom. It's funny because it is a series and it starts with X-Men versus Street Fighter. I would maybe just put Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on there as kind of the peak of it in a lot of ways. There's other games in there, and 3 is also very good. But 2 is where it just got real wacky, and it got broad, right? Like up till then, there's kind of like, well, it's just the X-Men, and then the Street Fighter's like, well, it's all Marvel versus the Street Fighter. Well, now it's all Marvel and Capcom, and then in 2, it's like not only is it all of them, it is so many people from them. That was just one of the first games that had a ridiculous roster, just tons of people in there, and they, were doing things like getting a bit more obscure and where with it, giving you characters, like Tron Bonne, things like that. So, it's when I think about crossovers, I still just think of the Versus series in general. Capcom did a lot of these, and there's some that are even outside of this series, like Capcom versus SNK is also very good. It may be worth considering, but Marvel vs. Capcom is still the epitome of this for me. The game where you can have, Jill Valentine fighting against BB Hood from Darkstalkers. Amazing stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, whenever I look at that roster, I'm like, I actually always forget like some of the characters that are on there. There's that many, and it always surprises me. And like a lot of them, I still don't even recognize. I'm like, who is this? Where are they from?
There are a couple OCs even, like Ruby Hart, who is actually important for the lore. I'm kind of a big Ruby Hart, or like what's Amigo or whatever, the cactus person. There's a couple OCs in there for some reason too, on top of everything else.
Is there one character that's not going to be in the Switch version because of like licensing? I thought I read that, but I didn't look too closely.
I didn't see that. If that's the case, I don't think so though. No.
Okay, well that's good.
I hope not.
I think I want to just get this one out of the way because it is like the most crossover game at this point. It's called Fortnite.
Oh yeah, man, God, I guess so, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to like argue against it because it is the crossover game now. That's like one of its main appeals. Although I suppose whenever young people play, they actually don't care as much about that stuff as I thought they would. This is kind of like maybe.
I think that's mostly for the olds.
It's mostly for the olds, yeah. But they have just about everything in there, and you can have John Cena in there with Darth Vader and Indiana Jones, all fighting alongside one another, and it all looks pretty good. I think it was Austin Walker who said it's like Fortnite's just like plastic. Like you could just mold it into anything, and anything can be a part of it, and feel like it totally makes sense in there. Yeah, it is. And the thing is, it's like they could do anything, and it would not be surprising at this point. Everything makes sense in Fortnite.
There's like I don't want to say like cynical nature, but like it's the crossoverness of it is very monetized in this. And of course it is in a lot of other things, and all these things are designed to make money. But here it is like very specifically, you know, pay money for all this stuff.
It feels like the modern version of the crossover. I mean, I know what you mean. Yeah. Maybe we could talk about that purity argument maybe as we're like whittling things down. But I think it's hard to argue that it should be on the short list, obviously.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I kind of figured we'd get to that.
Kingdom Hearts.
What
Disney
is that? Crossover between Disney and bad stuff?
No, quite. Literally because they were in the same office building in Japan and an elevator. I mean, that was the original pitch. Just Disney meets Final Fantasy. I remember seeing that and just losing my mind. It's still so, even as just like a weird Disney mega crossover thing, which there are a lot of, but at the time this happened, not really. Back in like 2002 when it came out, even that was a little weird to see a game that would have both like Jack Skellington and the Beast in it was kind of shocking. But then let alone also Cloud Strife and Squall.
Do you think the fact that like Marino says this in chat that the sort of deprecation of the Final Fantasy element of it, like, does that hurt its crossover appeal, or is the fact that all the Disney stuff is still crossing over with one another?
Well, like I am talking about Kingdom Hearts 1 mostly anyways in this one, but I think it did hurt the series, but they started kind of reversing that a bit. The DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 brought back Final Fantasy characters. Now maybe it's just a token gesture there, but even just looking at Kingdom Hearts 4, it looks like, okay, this looks like a bit more Final Fantasy again. I hope that manifests in actual references and not just more original characters that kind of look like Noctis. We'll see. I hope that they do that. But, even when they were in the midst of that, like Kingdom Hearts on the 3DS had a World Ends With You level, right? Mm-hmm. Or things like that. Again, I wish they would lean into it more and be like, here's a Chrono Trigger level or something like that. Like the peak of it for me was in Kingdom Hearts 2 when Auron from Final Fantasy X was just one of the party members. It was the first time it wasn't a Disney character. It was just the guy from Final Fantasy X. that was awesome. But still, like, the whole series was launched because of its crossover appeal, and it was this weird crossover, and then it kind of became its own things. And in some ways, like Kingdom Hearts, like, you know, something about it seems almost more important than Final Fantasy. In some ways, even it somehow surpassed one of the things it was a crossover of.
Mario plus Rabbids. No, I'm joking.
I thought about it too. Don't worry.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Literally the whole thing of everybody is here, and that meaning Solid Snake, and then Cloud Strife, and Bayonetta, and so many Belmont from Simon Belmont from Castlevania. So many cool characters from other franchises, and then like a million from Nintendo franchises, including like Little Mac and a million other Mario stuff.
And it was cool back when it was just like, Nintendo crossover stuff, because again, like, you didn't have a game that had Link and Mario in it. Unless, you know, like, there's a Link reference in Mario RPG, right? But here they are as like equal playable characters, and also, like, you know, they got more obscure even in the beginning because you had Ness in there and things like that, or Captain Falcon, like, like the pilot from F-Zero, that's cool. And then, they kind of got smart by adding it. Then Brawl slowly doing guest characters, and it was kind of unexpected ones, like you know, Snake was a surprise. Sonic made more sense, but then kind of slowly until we're at the point now where it really isn't just Nintendo stuff at all. It is as much almost all gaming, to where you can say things like maybe Aloy from Horizon will be in the next Smash Brothers, and it's not an insane thing to say. Like getting Sora in there, I think kind of was the gist. Anything can happen now. We can have anybody in these games. You could have Master Chief in there, and I wouldn't blink anymore.
Yep. Yes, exactly. Once it got to that point with Ultimate, where it was like literally any character from any franchise, from any console ever could appear in here, and it wouldn't be weird. That's like when it like ascended to clearly being able to be on this list here. What do you got next, Mike? And keep in mind, we can always jump over to the community answers from the podcast producers.
Yeah, maybe we should do that. There's just one that I do like, although
Heroes of the Storm.
No, I like Heroes of the Storm, but kind of like Puyo Puyo Tetris. Actually.
Oh, wow. Okay, I like that one.
I think that is very much in a Jetsons meets the Flintstones.
That is the Jetsons meets the Flintstones of video games, 100%.
It shouldn't have really made sense, and yet it was actually super fun. A great early Switch game. But it's like, here's just two great puzzle games, and you play it. It could be just a good Puyo game. It could be a good Tetris game, but you play the weird mode with both of them. It's fun. They had that kind of elaborate story mode that was also a good amount of fun. I like shoutouts to Puyo Puyo Tetris. There should be more games like that.
Definitely. Let's put Dead by Daylight on here since someone mentioned
Yes,
that.
You're right. Someone brought that up. And, it's great because it has a lane, horror stuff, and it's been able to pull a lot from that, a lot of the iconic franchises, but it also like has fun. It does things like, here's Nick Cage. Why not?
Right, exactly. And it's one of those things. It's like, once Nick Cage is in there, also not weird anymore. Of course he is, but when we did play it, I was like, oh my God, it really does have Halloween and Left 4 Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street and Saw and Stranger Things and Silent Hill. It's like, oh my God, it really does have every horror franchise that you could sort of imagine. And it really is the Super Smash Brothers of horror games in a lot of way.
Okay. Someone in chat said this, Mike Cook, and I have to bring it up because this is like the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, and that is one of the first times I ever saw a crossover. Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Ooh, that's
I still don't even know
fantastic.
how that happened. And the funny thing is, it's really just a Battletoads game, and in some ways, it's the better Battletoads game.
I prefer
Even the NES version, it's just a Battletoads game where Jimmy and Bimmy Lee are playable characters also. And I always actually really liked the Battletoad and Double Dragon. I kind of think it's underrated, to be honest. It's just like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's have the two beat-em-up series. That's the only thing they have in common, where they're going to be together anyways.
Yep. All right. I'm going to get to the podcast threads right now. There it is.
I see Special Nick saying Killer Instinct 2013, and I want the next one to go even harder with that stuff. I like that they added, Rash. It's one of the Battletoads, and they added, the one Halo character, and I think Rom. That's great. I hope that they do another one's even more of like an Xbox fighting game in some ways.
All right, and
Yeah,
I want to see
Rash and
people. I
Ram,
want to see
that's
people
it.
say the other ones. Don't say that if you're thinking it yet. All right. Let's see here. Let's get to the podcast producers, starting with Dr. Lynch, who says Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Chris 2K said, "Oh, did you want to say something real quick?"
I just like that banner art, that mural that they kept adding to, right? And there's my guy, Mega Man, down there. You know, oh gosh, probably the reason why I cared about Marvel vs. Capcom so much, because I like fighting games okay, but I wasn't some big person. But Marvel vs. Capcom was the first versus one that had Mega Man in it.
Right.
And I always liked Mega Man, so I was like, well, this is on Dreamcast. I have Dreamcast, and Mega Man's in it. I guess I suddenly care. So I actually played a good amount of MVC 1, but then like MVC 2, I loved the one so much. I was so excited for that. I remember like I had to like tell the Funko Land to bring it in because they weren't going to order any. So like you have to get one for me. Then they forgot anyway, so I had to wait an extra week. Like nobody else wanted Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in Youngstown, Ohio, but me. It's been really hard because of Mega Man.
Coolest person in town, apparently.
Yeah, that's the point of that. Yeah.
Chris 2K says Professor Layton meets the Ace Attorney. What was the name of this game?
Phoenix Wright versus. I think it was a versus Professor Layton.
That's crazy.
You know what's funny? Because like, you think I'd be all over this shit, and I was so excited when they announced it, and I got a copy of it and never got around to it. Just
I know.
Never got around to it.
This is the first Ace Attorney game I should play.
So I need to rectify that at some point. I mean, part of it is like, it's just like, I know it's going to happen. They're going to be against each other, and they team up at the end. which,
yeah,
who
but
cares
I love
if that's
that.
What happened? Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it should be.
Of course.
I know. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm too smart for this game. I bet. I think I also heard some people like don't really love it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm glad it exists, and I should check it out.
Same. Hosp says, yes, Dead Cells, where that got 1 million of the indie game characters. A lot of indie games would do this for a very long time, where they would just bring in a lot of guest characters from other indie games, which is always fun.
I remember Super Meat Boy doing that pretty early on, right? Yeah. And I always like it when they do that. It's always nice.
Right. Shovel Knight and, I don't know, other characters that I'm not recognizing.
Shovel Knight and the rest. There's somebody from Hotline Miami. A chicken.
There you go. Yeah, the chicken guy. Casual says Street Fighter cross Tekken.
I've never played much of this. I've heard, some.
I'm still
things.
waiting for Tekken cross Street Fighter, personally.
That would be kind of amazing, and I almost hope that idea could maybe get revived. But who knows? I don't think it's ever officially been canceled.
No, not really. Yeah.
No. Yeah. But this is the game that had the really weird Mega Man in it, also. By the way.
Yeah, absolutely not. This is a trash game. I'm sorry.
There you go. All right then. There you go.
Two-time champ Beefhammer says Fortnite, and don't forget John Cena.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with the game that just has John Cena in it.
Yep, John Cena and Naruto and Master Chief.
And, Jack Skellington.
Yes, Enzio Auditore, whatever the hell his name is.
April O'Neil. Ezio, not Enzio.
Yeah, but listen, maybe Enzio's in there too.
Sasuke.
Bubsy G says, what's that Funko game? Funko Fusion?
That's that new Funko game, Funko Fusion. Look at all these Universal properties and some other things. I like how Chris Pratt from Jurassic World is very front and center. In this.
Yeah, they're like, man, get on that Chris Pratt energy. That's the thing we need.
Put Freddy Fazbear or whatever his name is over there.
He's
before that.
Definitely more famous than anyone else here.
Oh my God!
All right, Screaming Madden. Is this a Madden truck inside of Burnout Revenge? Is that what this is?
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. Okay, I like that.
Did you see that Forza Horizon, the new one, got like a Universal pack that includes like all the DeLoreans and kit from Knight Rider or whatever? I was like,
that's cool.
I kind of want to get that.
I should play that game. Let's see. Willow Davis says Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Let's see here. Smash Brothers is rare copyability in Kirby series debuting in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Okay.
This is the thing. So in this game, he had an ability that just gave him his Smash moveset, I think is what he's getting at, which is pretty neat.
That is pretty
neat.
And
then you fight Master Hand and Crazy Hand in it from Smash Brothers. So that's cool.
Villain Max says NBA Street Volume 3, where Mario and Princess Peach are fucking stunting on some hoes. Man. Pretty good stuff.
I forget why, because even with this, everyone prefers Volume 2 to Volume 3. I forget what the reason is.
I'd have to go back and play to remember why this one didn't work as well. But Volume 2 was kind of pure and perfect. And this maybe just got a little bit more convoluted.
Not because of what we're seeing right now with...
No, this is fantastic.
This with Mario and Peach just slamming and jamming. God, incredible.
Josh L. Page says Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
It's just so good.
Velocity Prime 1 says...
Fuck Iceman, though. Fuck Iceman and your fucking chip damage with your ice beam, you piece of shit. God, it's cheap bullshit.
Someone had to say it. Velocity Prime says Kingdom Hearts. Tommy Pencils says...
Oh, that's Tekken 3. That's that dinosaur guy that's gone from Tekken 3.
Gone
who apparently is a character not from Tekken. That's why we haven't seen him in other Tekkens. Also, he's farting in this picture.
Right. Anytime a character's farting, that is already automatically good. Mr. Bowler says Sonic and Mario at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, where shirtless Wario is standing next to shirtless Eggman.
It's upsetting because they have this the same exact torsos,
but
and then just completely different legs, arms, head sizes. All the other proportions are completely different. It looks disgusting.
They look like someone getting ready to go troll in Second Life with their awful character. Yeah.
How many total minutes of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series have you played in your life?
I have played probably about 100 minutes in the last month. Because my kids,
that's disgusting.
Yes, my kids.
I don't think I've ever played more than 5 minutes.
I just bought it because they were like, "Wait, Sonic and Mario are in a game together." I'm like, "All right, let me learn you get something. Let me show you something."
Did they try to like it?
They try to like it. Yes, I could tell that they're not really into it. They usually end up going back to Mario Party after about 20 minutes. So, Matt, a rare immortal of Avium, says Telltale's Poker Night 2. These were fun. These are fun crossovers.
2 has Claptrap, Sam from Sam & Max, the guy from Venture Brothers, and then what's his face from Evil. Yeah. So as you can tell, this one didn't do it quite as much for me. I like Sam, but these other characters I'm not that super into. The first one I liked because it was Tycho from Penny Arcade, which Penny. Look, I'm old. I like Penny Arcade. Strong Bad. Gosh, who were the other ones in the Heavy from Team Fortress 2? I think Max. I think it was just also Max. So they had Sam and Max. So I like the first roster. I actually did really enjoy. This one was fine. Have you seen they played that trailer for Borderlands in front of
I didn't see that
too.
No, I missed that.
Jack Black's Claptrap is not what I was expecting.
Well, what is it?
Bad.
Just a man?
No, he's really doing a voice. Is the issue, and it might be too much of a voice. Actually, I don't know. It seemed annoying. Maybe it'll work in the movie, but maybe not.
I want to go back and play that multimedia celebrity poker game with Joe Piscopo. That's what I always think of when I see this.
Great.
Nolan says Barack Obama cross Burnout Paradise. That's
Jesus
right.
Christ.
Where the billboards were inside the game for the Barack Obama presidential campaign. Freedom McLiberty Ball says Joker in Mortal Kombat. Like, was this 11 or something?
I think that's Injustice. I think
that's
Injustice
versus DC.
Oh, okay. Mortal Kombat versus DC. That makes sense.
I mean, at this point, like Mortal Kombat and DC are so intertwined because there've been some guest characters across them now and all this stuff. And then what's funny is that actual Mortal Kombat versus DC is kind of I don't really care that much for that. This was a good fatality though.
This is a good fatality.
Yes. Well, they didn't do like fatalities. It wasn't like gory, and that's why it threw me off because they're a little bit gory. Like he's shooting her in the head. That threw me off. I was like, that can't be.
It's also like censored in some territories.
It was censored. I think even in the U.S. I forget. There was because it was like
was it teen?
It was teen. It was something. It wasn't rated because obviously they didn't want people just decapitating Superman and Wonder Woman, stuff like that.
And then Marino says they put Joker into Mortal Kombat 11 and gave him the actual fatality that was censored in MK versus DC.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, this fatality for listeners.
So this is Mortal Kombat 11 right here.
And then
okay.
He laughs, and then he pulls out a real gun and shoots her and doesn't dance.
All right.
It's funny. Joy Z says Darth Maul in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4.
No, 3. Come on, that's the airport, dude.
I can't keep them all. They're all at a certain point. They all mush together for me.
Wow, Tony Hawk does even that?
Yeah, because I was like, that's all I was playing back to back to back for years. So it's like I just had Tony Hawk years.
the big one for me was why did Christian's last interruption sound like he was in a water tank? The second one had Spider-Man. That was like the first one. That one blew my mind. Even though they made the Spider-Man game, but like there's some good. Darth Maul in this actually was amazing. There was a bunch of weird ones that they
Jango
would do
Fett was in 4 apparently.
Jango Fett. It was always actually a lot of fun to see who they would get for these. This. Oh God, I want to play some Tony Hawk 3 now.
Tober said. Wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Christian.
No, I was saying that take another hit of that sense you have now, so the Tony Hawks don't mesh together.
Okay, well, listen, I don't think there's any unmeshing them in my brain. This is, I believe, Sega and All Stars Racing Transformed, right? With Ryu on the Hang-On arcade thing?
He's on a Hang-On arcade machine that turns into a watercraft. This game rules so much. It's one of the best kart racing games ever. I kind of like it more than a lot of the Mario Karts. It has a ton of fun Sega characters and tracks. Some of the best stuff is like the tracks, because you do get things like the Panzer Dragoon track and the Afterburner track, and they just rule. You also have weird characters. Wreck-It Ralph's in here for some reason. Danica Patrick was a character.
That's right. Jeez, that always throws me off.
This game is fantastic, and there's been a few there's a bunch of Sega and Sonic characters in this thing. They did even a tennis game like that. None of them come close to Racing Transformed. Fantastic game. What's
wrong with Sega? Why don't they keep doing this like that? They had Team Racing after this, and that wasn't as good. Yeah,
they had the same team make a third one, and it was like just the Sonic characters and worse. Yep. It was like way less charming and more basic. It was basically just cars. It was like, well, the mechanic is that you can pick up the character's draft.
Yeah.
And stuff. It's like, that's way less interesting.
Yep.
Where's Knights? It was upsetting.
Hang-On's a good arcade game, too.
Hang-On is... I'm kind of in a big Sega arcade mood after watching that Pandemonium Sega Rally thing. Is
Hang-On Mizuguchi as well? Because I know he makes TT.
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
Mizuguchi rules. Chaos Buckaroo says...
Jesus Christ.
That Nikkei game which is from it's a Stellar Blade People's game where the ladies jiggle while you shoot a gun, and they did a crossover with Nier Automata because of course they did.
Game of the year.
Well, listen, I haven't played it yet, so those are ladies that look like they do what the jiggling does.
Whoa. Jeez, they don't even see 9S.
Oh, yeah, you didn't see the other one. Yeah, there.
I was looking at thighs for a while there.
Sure, yes.
You got thighs and you've got stomach.
Yep,
okay,
there it is.
The two kinds of girls.
Wiesman says, "Oh, that's right. They put this Zelda stuff into Skyrim for the Switch at launch.
Right. That's wild that you can get the Master Sword in Skyrim and it's official.
Hylian? Is that how you say it? Hylian Shield and the Champion's Tunic. Hylian? Yeah, I always overcorrect. Hylian Shield and the Champion's Tunic. Yeah, that was weird. Caleb L says Project X Zone 2, which is is that a platform fighter?
No, they're kind of turn-based strategy games, I think. Yeah, and it's these I've never actually played these. I mostly just see screenshots, and they're always real weird because there's a lot of dialogue, and it's Sega, Capcom, and Bandai Namco, right?
And
so
technically
it's
Nintendo.
Technically Nintendo.
A couple of Fire Emblem characters, man. I played these. They are tactics games, tile based. And then when you get into the combat, you do moves by doing fighting game inputs. It's very weird. The story is very bad. They are mediocre games, but hey, cool in terms of crossovers.
It was sounding fun for a while there. Man, you got Ooh La La in this. Just seeing these characters together is really neat. But oh well. Ooh La La.
Is that Strider or is that Shinobi?
I think that's Shinobi. It's hard to tell. They're pretty similar people, right?
Yeah, I think that's the same thing. Right?
I was saying all ninjas look the same.
That's exactly what you're saying. Alex says one of them there, Kingdom Hearts.
This would be the second one. That's when Goofy fucking dies in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I see what you like.
One of the best moments of the series. It was great. So remember, you know how Columbo doesn't get mad, but then when he did get mad, it was like, holy fucking shit.
I do remember that.
Now imagine fucking Mickey Mouse gets mad.
I can't imagine
somebody just killed Goofy. It kind of ruled. It was amazing. It like touched me deeply. He's basically like, they're gonna fucking pay for that, and he runs off with his sword, like ready to kill, going into a battlefield where Cloud and Squall and Tifa are already fighting. Ooh, I like Kingdom Hearts too.
Sounds pretty cool. Dan Fiasco says Soul Calibur 2, which of course had Link and Heihachi and Spawn.
Somebody won that one. But man,
Bro thinks he's on the team.
Soul Calibur 2 with Link was so cool. That was we talked. I think we did a list of our Mount Rushmore guest characters before, and I think that was on there. I love Link in Soul Calibur 2, and Soul Calibur's had some other very good ones. I think Darth Vader and Yoda was a ton of fun in 4. I'm glad they don't like go too crazy with it. I'm glad Soul Calibur isn't just some guest fighter fest. I like that they do like 1 or 2 smart ones. 2B was a good one for 6. But you know, it's not quite enough of a crossover, I think, to make this. But when they do it, they're smart about it.
Jamie H. Christmas Eve says, "Oh, okay, the Crazy Taxi game in Yakuza in like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which was very fun. But there's like a lot of like Sega Arcade references, like an extra Sega Arcade games in Like a Dragon."
Yeah.
Adam Juice says, "All right, I'll need help with this one. Let's see. Oh, okay. PSO Online, the Chow Garden. Is that what this is?"
Yeah, Fantasy Star Online had a bunch of other fun Sega stuff. Because you had like the mag, it was called, little robot friend, and it, like that could turn into a child. It could even turn into other Sega consoles. I think you could have like it be a Saturn at one point. So fun stuff like that I did appreciate in PSO.
Let's see if I can. Okay, that's downloading something.
No.
Disaster by Lay says the Vagina Bones game. I don't know why the image is being weird. I blame the hotel
That's a
Wi-Fi.
person's name. That's Leia.
Leia. Yes, excuse me. I'm not sure what this is. If someone else wants to check that out and let me know, feel free.
We're blaming hotel Wi-Fi. I'll see if I can find it.
Evo Janice says Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Yes. Look at those dudes. Again, that's a fun.
Right. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is what this is. That's right. That's what the Vagina Bones game is.
Oh, Vagina Bones. We should have put that together. Yeah, I always kind of have a problem with that game because the Fire Emblem aspect of it is very minimal.
Yeah, it's just
it's
modicum
practically nothing.
Yep.
I kind of wish there was more of it.
Yep, same. Mex says Super Smash Brothers. What was this, Ultimate? Yes, right?
Yeah. Remember when Sephiroth killed Mario?
Yeah, I do. I'll never forget.
I guess this. They did just do that, didn't they? That's incredible.
Straight up stabbed Mario with a giant sword.
A lot of people die because Ridley killed Luigi in that trailer, I believe.
Well, the intro to, well, I guess they don't die. They just get like taken away. All the characters in the intro to
they lose
Ultimate.
Their souls, which is depending on your religion, that's like dying.
Sure, okay. My kid still really likes that Kirby's the only one that lives.
Sure.
Bradfish mentions Super Monkey Ball, where you've got what's his name from Yakuza?
You know more than I do. The Yakuza guy
here in a ball.
Is it Kiryu or the other one?
Yeah, Kiryu. Yes, Kiryu. Yes.
Yeah, you got Kiryu. You could do Sonic and Friends. I think Beat even was an option. They had a few Sega characters there. That was nice.
Teriyaki Blues mentions Punch Out, which had Mario as the referee. Wizard of Blah says Link's Awakening, which did have a lot of weird Mario references, including the chain shop named Bow Wow at Madam's what's her name's house. Yeah, that was.
Oh, I don't remember, but yeah, it was cool. I remember even back then. It was like, what's a chain shop? Is that allowed?
Yeah, it's like, what's going on here? And then of course we found out what was going on all along. Bench JC says, is this the Smash Brothers and the Amiibo game or the Amiibo?
I think it maybe it's just shout out to all Amiibos, but actually these are the Smash Bros. Amiibo specifically.
Yeah, compatible with more than 50 Amiibo, and I'm assuming these are the Smash Brothers ones.
The game would be Super Mario Maker.
Oh yeah, Super Mario Maker. Okay.
Oh, that yellow background.
I just recognize the font.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, the font and the yellow background. Yep. Okay. Input name here says
Mugen. This is that fighting the fighting game tool that lets you just kind of make your own stuff for people.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
We can't count this because it will be the best one 4 times. This is too much. It's great.
I do usually just like to watch videos about Mugen games and actually play Mugen games, I have to admit. But it is, because you could do things like have Ronald McDonald versus Big Bird, and they have elaborate move sets and special moves, and it's very funny looking.
B mentions, is this Kingdom Hearts?
This Kingdom Hearts 2 is what I was telling you. This is right around when Goofy fucking dies.
Right.
With Squall and Cloud fighting against the Heartless
this is cool.
together. Yeah, it is.
That's
very
cool dude
cool
stuff right there.
It's very cool dude stuff.
Hey, Slidge Moore Reinhold says Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. There you go. That is a real crossover right there.
Yeah, they made the best out of a bad idea with that one.
Uh-huh. Dr. Ryan says Negan in Tekken 7.
That's still
the Walking Dead
weird.
television program on AMC. Wong Gifts says Battle Arena Toshinden 2, which apparently had fucking Earthworm Jim in it.
It sure did, and it was kind of wild because I think a lot of us were really past caring about Earthworm Jim already, even at this point. But it wasn't even like, because Clay Fighter, granted it's the same people, Clay Fighter 63 and third also had Earthworm Jim in 2 fighting games.
Yep. Famous character from back in the day. Always Be Clothing / Corgi says what I believe is Soul Calibur 3. 4. Okay, 4. That's right, 4. Darth Vader and had Yoda as well on one of the platforms.
Yeah, I mean, Yoda was fine in this. You had Starkiller or whatever, but Darth Vader in this was cool as hell to me. I loved Darth Vader.
Yoda was Xbox and Darth Vader was.
And well, later they let you get both on the other ones.
Mason W says this is Geese Howard, right, in Tekken 7?
Right. Good job, Jeff. That is Geese Howard.
I know Geese Howard when I see one.
Now, this was a cool guest character. Geese from Fatal Fury, the main bad guy of Fatal Fury, and he just kind of translated very well to Tekken, unlike the guy from the zombie show with a bat.
Oh, Negan. It's technically
cool,
like canon to Tekken. He taught other character how to use the wave.
There
you go.
On Tekken,
you hear that?
so he's technically,
Wow, impressive. Octo says, always bet on the Duke with Duke Nukem's Bulletstorm Tour. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I kind of want to go see what this is about. I don't remember this at all. I
kind of remember it happening and being like, oh, I'm not checking that out.
Empanada Eater says, Fighters Mega Mix, where you fight as a fucking Daytona car, the Hornet.
This game rules. This was a very early wacky, just whatever fighter. Like the fundamentals of it is Virtual Fighter and Fighting Vipers. You combine those 2 rosters. Then you throw in some other things like some Sonic the Fighters characters, some Virtual Fighter Kids characters, and then just wacky shit like the car from Daytona, USA, like the Sega AM2 logo. This is just a really fun, wacky game.
Ape Escape in Metal Gear Solid 3.
That's fun.
From Wardenclyffe. God, that's fun. Riz Racer says Soul Calibur 2, once again, with Link in Soul Calibur 2 for GameCube. The Gorton's Fisherman says Mario Hoops 3-on-3, which was developed by fucking Square Enix, right?
Yeah, you can tell because of that athletic white mage character model. What weird.
I can actually tell, is it a Cactuar? Is that what that is?
That is a Cactuar. Yes, that is correct. There's a black mage with a Fire Raga basketball in the top left there, and a Moogle. I mean, yeah.
And Luigi just looking very confused.
Yeah, Luigi's like, don't take my ball.
Wow, we got this one before the other one. Sly Cooper,
the same thing.
The Sly Cooper Wolf 5 says PlayStation Move Heroes. Which I honestly have no idea what this is.
What was that? I mean, I guess it was a mini game collection.
Probably,
I have no memory of this. Zero memory of this.
It's got Jack and Sly and Clank. They're all the stars are here. TTKA Graven says Monster Hunter World plus Witcher 3. There you go. That's a big one.
It's a good mission. It's a good
yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah.
Crouching Boomer Hidden Zoomer says Cleavage.
This is the.
That's like from, but she's from Guilty Gear. But this is that kind of that SNK game.
Samurai Showdown.
Samurai Showdown. Thank you.
Oh, is it Samurai Showdown? Oh, right.
Yep.
Good call.
But yeah,
like a
you're right.
samurai game. That's a good crossover.
Gay Mess Eden says Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Which, sure.
What's going on?
Yeah, that came up earlier, and Christian wasn't impressed.
Yep.
I don't blame him. I don't blame you.
It feels it's a bad feeling fighting game. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
but it's a
know
cool crossover.
But it is. Look, when you think about crossovers, especially the ones of the blank cross blank variety, it does have the name at least.
Yeah, it does, and it doesn't feel like it's a kind of disappointing when you see like Street Fighter characters how they play in Tekken, but then you see this and it's like, oh man, it's not like they could. They put the same amount of work. It seems.
Yeah. Also sold like shit.
Big Tony says Blaze Blue cross tag battle, which has.
Fuck yeah.
A bunch of characters, it looks like.
It had the
rules.
Yeah, it had the Ruby characters in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was like, so it's, it's Blaze Blue, it's the Persona ones, I assume Guilty Gear, and then Ruby for some reason.
There's no Guilty Gear, but there's...
No Guilty Gear? Well, that's surprising. Okay, then.
But there's from other series.
It's Under Night in Birth.
Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Union.
My only
that series Jeff totally just didn't hear about just now.
My only exposure to Ruby is that H-Bomber guy video, so I don't really know.
Did you watch the new folding ideas video about...
I did.
Yeah.
No, what is it? It hasn't even come across my feed. What is it?
Oh, yeah, it's called I Do Not Know James Rolfe, so he's talking about the Angry Video Game Nerd. And at first I was kind of like, another video essay, people just kind of complaining about the Angry Video Game Nerd. It's a little bit of that, but it's mostly not that, so it's good. It's good.
He does. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Barf Spackle says Super Mario Maker 2, which honestly, seeing Link in a Karibo shoe, it always messes me up. That's a cool looking thing.
There was that Flash game when I was like in college, like Super Mario Crossover, where it was just like play Mario as Mega Man or as the Blaster Master or as Link, and I remember that was a lot of fun.
I mean, I never played that, but I've definitely played a lot of like Chinese ROM hacks that have that sort of thing going on. So sure. Hammond of Texas says Ghost Recon Wildlands, the Predator special event. That was such a good idea, but the thing with this is they should have just done it and not told anybody, and like suddenly just the Predator shows up, because that would have been cool.
Predator's been in a lot of video games.
Yeah, right. Yes, absolutely. Ed says...
Yeah, what is this?
Oh, wait. This is Avenged Sevenfold and Black Ops 2, baby.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, that is insane. Avenged Sevenfold. Okay, whatever. Allie Miracle says the CVS, Capcom versus SNK.
Yeah. And I never quite loved this art style, especially with how the Capcom characters look at. Look up Blanca there. That's just kind of cursed.
The more I look at it, the more I like the way it's cursed, but it's definitely cursed. Like, I won't disagree with you. Fucking Dan. HLS says Hellboy in Mortal Kombat. Which one was he?
Mortal Kombat 11, I believe, right, Sean?
Right. That would be Injustice 2.
Oh, never mind. Fuck me. Well, right. Yeah. It's hard to keep track of these things.
Yeah. I know them all, and they're still like blend together for me.
Yeah. They did do some good guest characters. I know like 11's not everyone's favorite in the way it feels, but like having RoboCop and Rambo in there, those are some pretty cool guest characters.
Tink says Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Boomer's Bobcat is typing. Says the Burger King games.
I mean, what is that? Those are just Burger King games. They're not. I guess they're crossing over with Xbox 360. I
suppose so. Yeah. Okay. Nick says Steven Spielberg's crossover with video games. Boom Blocks.
Yeah. Hey, Boombox is fun. We were sick, but we played it at the extra.
And I was really looking forward to it.
You missed out.
Zayark says Aloy in one of these mobile games. It looks like.
Do neither of you know what this is?
It looks vaguely familiar. Remind me.
That's Aloy in Genshin Impact.
Holy shit!
Okay. Cool.
Were all the chuds up? This is how all the chuds want Aloy to look. To be correct,
of course.
Right? Yeah. All the moisturizer. All right, good.
Super Harmon says, Alien versus...
What is this?
Doom,
it looks
aliens,
like a Doom clone.
Is this just a Doom wad about aliens?
I don't know. It looks kind of... I mean, what I was thinking about is Alien versus Predator, because Alien versus Predator, the video game, I don't think it predated the comic book crossover, but the game predated the movie anyways. So I still think of Alien versus Predator in video game terms before anything else, because, I mean, you had the shooter, you had... the beat 'em up, and then you had the other first person shooters. That was good, but I don't know what this is exactly.
Turbo Sean says Marvel versus Capcom 2. The handshake heard around the world.
Yeah, I I love this like kind of respectful, like we're meeting for the first time handshake, and then the new key art, the fucking Predator version of it, so fucking good.
Yep, it's fantastic.
So Paradigm says that perhaps this alien thing is the first total conversion mod for Doom, and that makes sense.
That makes sense. That's kind of the sense I was getting. Cool. Christian says Super Robot Tizen.
Yeah, the biggest crossover game. I think this game has more crossover than any other game.
So this is like Gundam and a bunch of other big mech things turned into a strategy series.
Like, yeah, everything you have from like Kamen Rider. Like, I think it has a crossover with Kingdom Hearts too. Like Harry Potter, they have like weird crossover. Like, it's weird. It's great. If you like mechs, this is shit.
So nobody wanted to bring up PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
I was waiting for it, and no one wants to bring it up.
Man, I like that game.
You like it?
I do. It's a fun game. Look, is it gonna make our thing here?
No.
No. There you go. Christian just threw it in there for me. I appreciate that, Christian. Thank you very much. The only another one I think should be I want to consider Fighters Mega Mix. That game rules. That's really fun.
Okay. I'm down. And we already got Battletoads and Double Dragon, which is the one I would have wanted to put on here. Mega Mix. Mega Mix is one word?
Mega Mix is one word, sir. How dare you?
Yeah, no, I got there. Okay, so here's what we have. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Fortnite, Kingdom Hearts, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Dead by Daylight, Battletoads, and Double Dragon Fighters Mega Mix. Do we want to put anything else up on the short list?
I think this is a good short list.
I do too. I think we have the four of the Mount Rushmore in this list already. Mm-hmm. I am okay with Marvel vs. Capcom 2 being a lock.
Yeah, it is absolutely a lock. I'll say it right now. Kingdom Hearts is also a lock, Jeff.
Okay, I can accept that.
It is.
It does get tough here because there's... I kind of want Battletoads and Double Dragon as like the George Washington.
Yeah, we're going to get so boomered for that.
I know.
We're going to get boomered the hell out of it. And yet, hey, you don't have to convince me.
I know, but then it's like, and then I think we put Smash Brothers Ultimate, and that means we're leaving off Fortnite and Dead by Daylight. It's tough.
There is something haphazard about Fortnite's approach, is there not? It's just anything. I guess it's beautiful in some way.
It is most reminiscent to me of Funko. Like, I think
it's like the Funko Pop version of crossover.
And that's like, they do it better than Funko. They do, but it most reminds me of Funko Pop. So I think I'm kind of okay with what you're saying.
Again, Battletoads and Double Dragon is kind of the George Washington here. Like, there might be an earlier one. I don't remember. I absolutely cannot think of one earlier. Though the game is technically called Battletoads / Double Dragon. All right. That's the actual name.
Weird.
Yeah.
Double
Dragon. Me, I had to look it up.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for you to
just like that. Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to Fighter Mega Mix though. I do.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we are putting Smash Brothers Ultimate up there, right?
Yeah, Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on. I think that's got to be it.
I think there's something to be said for like the main element is there is this main pillar and it's crossing over with another thing, or a lot of other things. But I like something about the main pillar being worth crossing over with in the first place. Like, and clearly Fortnite's getting there, but I think it's like, well, a lot of those are generic characters, and then they are just bringing in a lot of guest stars to sell because they need something to sell, and a lot of people aren't going to buy the generic stuff. And again, a lot of kids are these days. But yeah, I don't know. I think that kind of speaks to me a little bit.
Yep.
All right. So, Buy Fighters Mega Mix, Dead by Daylight. Also, I think, honestly, I'd probably put that up before Fortnite even. So, our four are Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Kingdom Hearts, Battletoads Double Dragon, Battletoads / Double Dragon, I suppose, and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Does that sound right to you, Mike? Are you afraid of being called a boomer?
No, absolutely not. I'm actually never been more proud of us.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. All right, cool. Then I am going to capture that. We will post it on Twitter to get yelled at.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll take another quick break. When we get back, we'll talk about what we've been playing.
Rockaroo.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'm starting Battletoads and Double Dragons on my beta.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Like a real gamer.
All right, let me just.
Beef Hammer brings up a good point. Where's the Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty? That's enough to get her own feature on Giant Bomb.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play Super Road Tyson now. Fuck. That last
Cool
one
series.
was like $100 for some reason. Whoa, chill out. There's too many crossovers. Gonna pay every.
We're gonna get going again here in a second. Everybody, just gonna finish up posting this.
Who do I play as? Rash, Sitz, Pimple, Billy, or Jimmy?
The world's your oyster.
Yeah,
I'm kind of a Billy guy myself.
I always go with a
I go
Battletoad. I think I go with Rash. I think.
Oh, you gotta go with Rash.
Yeah, I think so.
He's the one who got into KI. He's the most important one.
He's cool.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We're in the space. There's a chapter on space.
Yeah. You start on a spaceship. It's cool.
Okay, let's get back into it.
Awesome. We did good stuff there.
We did good work.
Do you want super chats? Or do you want to talk about what we've been playing?
Let's do super chats first.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, there's no more of those. All right, here we go. All right,
So
okay. Yeah,
I thought we had been going. I'm sorry.
No. Sorry.
I thought we were doing a podcast. I was like, oh.
I was bringing it back
This is
in.
all
Okay.
in.
Okay, here we go.
We're
keep
good.
it too late.
This is a podcast now. You can tell because of the way I'm speaking to you, Mike Minotti.
I'm picking up on the change in your tone now. Yeah, thank you.
We did good work there. We made the right decisions. I think I am very proud of us. Shout out to Battletoads / Double Dragon. But now, Mike, I think we got some more super chats that I would like you to read.
We got a few more here. Beef Hammer with their 10th super chat. Thank you. Says, hey, Mike, I'm playing Rebirth and really enjoying it. There's a lot of cutscenes to skip. Takes a lot of time. Is there any way to skip them faster? Wow. I do not like the super chat. How dare you? Absolutely not. Prophecy 02 says, salute me for Mark. That's incredible.
I hope Formaggia becomes a really big game so we can like make that t-shirt and people will get the joke.
Oh, that'd be incredible. Mickey O'Leary says, let us not forget the greatest dad game crossover of all time, Top Gun, Maverick, and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
That's
that was
very
actually
good,
pretty cool.
Mikey, actually. That's a good poll. I like that a lot.
And then AT says, Mount Rushmore video game elevators. Let's see if we can do
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, Metroid Prime, elevator action.
Definitely. And then are there elevators in Burger Time?
No, I wouldn't really call those.
No, it's not elevators.
I wouldn't call those. Streets of Rage.
Mike.
Streets of Rage. Yes.
Like Final Fantasy VII, the elevator fight.
I kind of a stairs guy, though.
Did you say Streets of
Oh,
Rage?
you're right. You always do that anyways. I think Streets of Rage needs consideration. Ooh, Final Fantasy VII is good, but Streets of Rage is good too. We're going to say Streets of Rage, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 1 with the people invisible. This is tough. We might have to expand this into a full discussion.
Sounds good to me.
There's too many. There's too many.
All right, that does it for the super chats.
For now, if you guys want to send in any more, we will read them before the end of the show. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Always appreciate the support, as always. All right, Mikey, you been catching up on anything?
Well, I've been playing Metroid Zero Mission now that's on NSO, and been having a lot of fun with that. For some reason, like I always like know that Metroid Fusion's short, and I'm prepared for that. I forget that Zero Mission also very short.
Very short,
I don't
yes.
really have any big problem with that, but it does catch me like off guard a little bit.
It's like the Hobbit of gaming. It's like you start reading it and you're done later that afternoon.
Right. And part of it is because, it is a remake of an NES game that a lot of the length was because you didn't know where to go. And this one does tell you where to go. I don't have some big issue with that. Yeah. But you go where it tells you to, and then you do that thing, and then next thing you know, you're Zero Suit Samus, and it's all very fun and very good. And it's it's interesting because I know so like Sean Saibali prefers this to Super Metroid, and one of the things he talked about was how Super Metroid feels floatier. In my mind, I'm like, I bet that's right. Is it really that big a difference? It is a big difference, just how that floatiness. I kind of forgot just how floaty Super Metroid is compared to this one. Now, me, I don't really that doesn't bother me. And in some ways, like, you know, I'm a freak and I like that floatiness in Super Metroid. But
Definitely.
I totally see how if that is something that bothers you, and I can understand how that would bother you, then yeah, like
unless
Super Mission
Sean's
is a
saying
much
it
better
bothers him, in
feeling
which
game.
case I don't understand it. He's just young. He doesn't get it. Yeah.
What? How dare you say that about my buddy Sean? He's entitled to his Metroid opinions, you jerk.
Thank you, Mike. You've always been on my side about this. It's friggin' Jeff Grubb over there who's the
That's
instigator.
right.
Wow.
That's
Fuck
right.
this.
But man, Metroid games are just super. But you know, the thing is though, like because it is so short, like once I beat it, and if I don't get the best ending, it's like, well, maybe I should just go right back into it. Now I bet I can do it even faster. I'm not sure like what the skips look like in this one. If there are any kind of wacky, weird things that you can do in, not like, you know, that are like the mildly intended skips, right? Those are always the really fun one in Super Metroid, and it was great when Dread like really had those kind of figured out for you. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll like even play it like again right after this. Maybe look some things up and see if there's any weird things that I can do there. But
you can do it very easily. You can very easily sequence break and stuff just by bomb jumping. We're not supposed to be able to
right. Okay. Yeah.
to skip areas where we're supposed to have
bomb jump,
space jump.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, the first time I played Super Metroid and I realized I could do bomb jumping, and then I realized I could like do really high bomb jumping by getting the timing right. That felt so fucking amazing.
It feels good.
What a great series.
And you still do have the wall jump in this one, and it's easier to pull off in Super Metroid, so you can have some shenanigans there.
Yeah, I like the difficult wall jump in Super Metroid. I like that a lot.
I do.
I also am playing a Metroid game, and mostly the process was trying to figure out the best way to play this game. Do you want to guess what Metroid game I wanted to play?
Metroid Prime 2?
No. Guess again.
Metroid Prime Pinball?
Nope.
Oh, but not Federation Force.
No, but that is on the list after this one.
Oh no, is it Other M? What is it?
No, Metroid Prime Hunters.
Oh, that makes sense. That's so smart.
I want to find out all about Psylocke. I definitely played this game at the time. I don't remember fucking Psylocke. I remember a big rocky guy or something like that.
Yeah.
So I looked into the best way to play this. I tried to see if there was like a Prime hack equivalent, which is like, you know, if on PC or Steam Deck, you can have dual stick or mouse and keyboard control for Prime 1, 2, and 3 using Trilogy and Prime hack emulator. There is a project in the works that is like trying to do that with Hunters, but it's very much in the works. So there's other ways to do that, but the way that most people decide was probably best and easiest is to play it on Steam Deck and map the touchscreen controls to the touchpad, so on the right touchpad. And apparently that works really well. And of course, if you have like Melon DS set up right on your Steam Deck, you can have like the big top screen here, and then both screens, one on top of the other, over on the right, all in one screen. And it actually looks really nice and works really well. So I got that all set up, started playing it. And mostly that was what I ended up doing. But it seems to work fine. The touch controls actually do function the way I want them to. So I'm going to play through that and at least see what's going on with this Psylocke guy, because I want to do that. And apparently he also shows up in like
3.
in 3 in post-credit stuff. And then I think he also does show up, I think it was mentioned, in Federation Forces, maybe.
Hell yeah. That's incredible.
That's what I'm doing.
You know what? It's like a part of me. It's like, is there some way like me and someone else can play through Federation Force? I mean, it's still a co-op Metroid Prime does not sound terrible. It must be kind of fun. Right.
Yeah, and that was like that was a campaign that was separate from what, because for me, you know, I played that thing at E3.
Yeah, the soccer mode was a different thing.
And I was like, fuck this, and I got mad, and I never wanted anything to do with it. But there's more to it than that, right?
No. I mean, the actual game is just, it's like, you know, it's like that one of it's like Four Swords, but with Metroid.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll look into that. That could be fun. Doing like mobile or like handheld stuff over something like whatchamacallit, the thing that we use, Parsec.
Oh, Jeff, you know how they got the Nintendo online services up and running through like fan hacks now?
Yeah.
What if once Dan is back, we get some compadres action going again?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing it with Dan.
That's the point, Mike. You got suffer with the rest of us.
I don't know if I could. No.
Let's see what the game is like and see how much you could fuck one another over.
You're not gonna want to do more than one episode, anyways. It'll be a fun.
For the content, Mike.
Yeah,
Think about the people.
I want to maybe beat this game.
I know. I kind of want that
Remember we
format.
thought we were good. Remember we thought we were good at beat Four Swords Adventures.
Yeah.
Halcyon and Day.
Yeah, I have still kind of a broken heart about that.
Dan got bored of that pretty quick.
That was just over with. Well, one day, and it's like, I guess we're not doing that, huh? I lived my whole life trying to get to a situation where I could make that happen with other people and kind of get us all paid to do it. I'm like, it's perfect. We have an excuse to beat it. And it's like, oh, even that's not enough. All right, never mind.
It's not enough.
I'll just plain milk's fine.
Plain milk's fine. We'll do it someday. We'll have some extra life thing. Where we're just gonna have 10 hours, like me, you, and 2 other people. We're just gonna actually play through all of Four Swords Adventures.
Hell yeah.
Don't worry.
All right, fantastic. And then more Thousand Year Door, which continues to be fantastic.
So good.
Yep. And then I was playing Third Strike because I was just like, oh, look at that game. And, yeah, that's been my week. I did start up. What was it? But I did briefly boot up Body Cam. Have you seen this?
Wow, I've heard about this.
Yeah, and I think it is kind of disturbing. It's more disturbing when someone else is playing and you're watching them, which is how I first really saw it. Someone was playing it on TikTok, which has that's a different context of this looks like real. Is someone just going around shooting people on TikTok? That context really threw it off. Once you're playing it, it's a little bit more like, okay, of course this is extreme, but I get what they're going for. But yeah, I don't know. I'm more curious about it than entertained by it. So might spend some more time with it just to see where it's going. But honestly, if I was going to play another shooter right now, I would probably go back and play more Sniper Elite 5 instead. But yeah, that's what I've been playing, Mike. Anything else from you?
No. That's the big thing. We got one more super chat here from Jacob Bench, who says, "Should Elden Ring be eligible for Game of the Year?" Look, Erdtree is eligible for Game of the Year. That's fine. If you want, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of people are like, oh, I played a game that came out 2 years ago, so now that game is my Game of the Year for this year. No, I think the Game of the Year should come out in that year.
On the personal list on GiantBomb.com, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. But yes,
but I would never.
Yeah.
It is eligible here on the Game Mess.
Sure, you can do whatever you want.
Erdtree is, sure.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like if a game got a major update to the point where it's like, we know it when we see it these days. When a game has been updated,
yeah, that's usually what it is, right?
To feel like a new game, yes. Clearly, I think if people want to say Destiny: The Final Shape, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Yes,
yeah, that's 100%
fine. That counts.
Yeah. No, expansions do count. When I was rolling my eyes at Erdtree, it wasn't so much that I think expansions don't count. But there's a point it's like, boy, we sure did give Elden Ring as many flowers as can possibly be given to a game already. Yep. And of course, that doesn't mean that it can't get praised for a new thing.
Probably still is going to be better than any game that comes out this year. Probably.
Right, exactly.
It's that game, yes. All right, Mikey, I think I'm going to hit the button.
Hit that button, baby.
All right. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thanks for just being loyal to the Game Mess. It's been so great to see the community grow and to come back from Summer Game Fest, get right back in the swing of things, and see everybody continue to tune in, even though we missed a couple episodes there for a little bit. Just means a lot. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet? What do you got going on? All that good stuff.
Tokoto, all that stuff. 90s Disney did an episode ranking all of the attractions in Disneyland Park.
How'd that go? I want to listen to it because we were just there, so I'm very invested.
Yeah, that's why I did. Because I just did a lot of these again, so I think this would be a fun thing to do. So yeah, it was good. Just Disneyland Park, not California Adventure. There might be a separate episode someday. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. And then our new episode we're going to do at the end of the month is going to be about the Disney World monorail. So look forward to that in about 10 days.
It's different than the People Mover, right?
Yes, monorail, very different. You'll see the monorail. Because, you'll be using the monorail. Monorail is very, actual transportation in Disney World.
Okay.
It's not really a ride. It's, utilitarian.
Very cool. Okay. Tomorrow I will be starting Erdtree on Giant Bomb for UPF. I'm just going to go in there and play it. If you fellas want to come hang out, should. But yeah, and then we'll have a BCR tomorrow on Giant Bomb, Bombcast for Vengeance. Tam's going to come in. He's been playing, I saw on Steam, 60 hours of Shadow of the Erdtree.
What? No way.
Yes, like 59, yes. So he's played a lot of that game.
There's the guy. Someone's like, do you think Erdtree's going to have a chance at Giant Bomb Game of the Year? Well, I think it's going to do pretty well.
It's going to do very well, yes. I think someone else I saw on my friends list had played 80 hours already. So
man, that's wild.
So yeah, a lot of people have been playing a lot of that. Tam's going to come in and talk about it. Lucy played a game that I think she'll at SGF. I think she'll finally be able to talk about tomorrow on the podcast. So we'll do that. Might have some other fun stuff in there. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but it'll be a good time. And then a bunch of great stuff happened on Giant Bomb all week, so you can check that out, including Blight Club. Last Blight Club for a while, everybody. All right, have a good one. Take care of yourself and goodbye. Most people are beating it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, let's freaking go.
Let's freaking go.
I am an animal.
I have been plenty horny, thank you.
Thanks, Dan.